Hello, dear Reta followers. This is Caner speaking, and today we'll be covering a case study together, focusing on Apple's iPhone launch. As Tolgahan mentioned in the previous video and episode, we'll be covering case studies of the topic of that specific week together from now on. And as I mentioned, this is the first case study we'll be focusing on. Apple's iPhone launch, which revolutionized technology and marketing. This event was quite significant for both tech and marketing history. To talk about the background of the event a bit, I have to mention that in 2007, the smartphone market was dominated by companies like Nokia, BlackBerry, and Palm. Their devices primarily focused on business users, and they featured physical keyboards and limited internet capabilities at that time. The concept of a touchscreen phone was still in its infancy, meaning childhood years. And to talk about Apple's status a bit, I have to mention that Apple was an already well-known brand at that time as well, particularly due to their success of the iPod and its line of Macintosh computers. However, it was still a relatively small player in the industry, in the tech industry, when we compare it to the giants like Microsoft. Let's talk about Steve Jobs' announcement of the iPhone a bit. On January 9th, 2007, Steve Jobs took the stage at the Macworld conference in San Francisco and introduced the iPhone as three revolutionary products in just one product. A widescreen iPod with touch controls, a revolutionary mobile phone, and a breakthrough internet communicator. The iPhone integrated features of a mobile phone, an iPod, and an internet communication device, which was unprecedented at that time actually. It introduced a multi-touch interface, which eliminated the need for a physical keyboard, which, famous phones such as Blackberries had at that time. Let's talk a bit about the background of the event here and how the launch worked. The first topic that I would like to focus on is the product innovation actually, which means ürün yeniliği, as we can see on the slide. Let's focus on the definition, the process of creating new or improved products to meet customer needs and stand out in the market. So this is something different. And the iPhone featured a 3.5-inch multi-touch screen and a 2-megapixel camera and a fully functional iOS operating system. This innovative interface allowed users to, interact with their device through gestures like swiping and pinching, just as we do with every smartphone in the industry today, and it was the beginning of it. And we have to talk about its design a bit as well, because it's set a standard for the industry. I'm talking about the sleek, which is like gösterişli and chic design, and it was minimalist as well. And these features, as I mentioned earlier, set a new standard for smartphones. This standard focused on easiness of usage and aesthetic appeal. Secondly, we have to talk about branding here, which is markalaşma, as we can see on the slide. The definition suggests that branding is the process of creating a unique name, image, and identity for a product or company in the consumer's mind. So we have to talk about Steve Jobs' presentation style when it comes to the branding at that time, I think. Steve Jobs used a clear, simple, and engaging presentation style when it came to its introduction, iPhone's introduction. He built suspense and excitement throughout his keynote. His use of storytelling and dramatic reveals kept the audience captivated to the presentation. Also, we have to talk about the message delivery, I think. Steve Jobs highlighted the revolutionary aspects of the iPhone, emphasizing its simplicity and functionality. He used live demonstrations to showcase its capabilities, and this made the technology accessible and appealing to the audience. When we want to address how the launch worked, one of the most important aspects to talk about is the target audience. Every product has a target audience. So, as we can see on the slide, target audience is hedef kitle for products, or actually presentations as well, anything. The specific group of consumers at which a product or marketing campaign is aimed. So we aim a specific demographic here. And Apple, when it was launching iPhone, targeted a broad audience, actually, a very wide audience. This included tech enthusiasts, business professionals, and actually everyday consumers who valued design and functionality as well. The iPhone's user-friendly interface and advanced features appeal to a wide range of potential customers. So this means iPhone was available in the minds of many people. And this is important for marketing. Let's talk a bit about buzz creation as well. We can see on the slide that this means heyecan yaratma in Turkish. Let's look at the definition. The act of generating excitement and a word-of-mouth promotion for a product or brand. This is quite important when we are waiting for a product, actually, because we want to feel excited about things. And Apple just did that. They did this with teaser ads and media placements. Apple used teaser ads and strategic media placements to generate anticipation, like beklenti among people, right? So the campaign was characterized by secrecy, but also strategic leaks the Apple planned, which kept the public, the target audience and media engaged. If we were to talk a bit more about the importance of anticipation, which is beklenti as we mentioned earlier, the build-up to the launch created an immense buzz around the product actually, with the media and the consumers eagerly waiting the official reveal of the product, iPhone. Let's talk a bit more about iPhone and its impact and real-life examples. Firstly, we have to look at the term market impact, which is pazar etkisi, as we can see on the slide. The definition is the effect that a product, service, or campaign has on the market, the piyasa, including sales, competition, and consumer behavior as well. So let's talk a bit about sales figures and influence of iPhone. The iPhone sold over 6 million units in its first year, actually. And this sets new standards in the smartphone industry and led to a shift towards touchscreen devices and the development of app ecosystems, which we still use today. And it means that iPhone revolutionized the industry, changed it fundamentally. We can say that the competitors quickly followed suit, actually, introducing their own touchscreen devices, which marked the end of dominance of the physical keyboards at that time, such as the products like BlackBerry had. Let's talk also a bit more about the cultural impact it had, which is kültürel etki actually. So the definition is that the influence that a product, brand, or a marketing campaign has on the cultural values and norms of a society. Norm is like, just as we use it in Turkish, normlar. And to talk a bit about that, I think we have to mention the changes in communication and media consumption. The iPhone changed how people communicated actually, and consumed media and accessed information. It became an essential tool for everyday life for us. This influenced, various aspects of the society. And if we were to mention about the broader significance it had, we have to say that the device's success reinforced the importance of user experience and design in technology. And this inspired countless innovations across different industries. Let's address marketing techniques Apple used. Marketing techniques is pazarlama teknikleri, as we can see on the slide, and its definition is the strategies and methods used to promote products and services to consumers. So our strategy. We have to mention when it comes to that, the minimalist advertising Apple made use of. Apple's minimalist ads focused on the iPhone's revolutionary design and the features. The Hello commercial, for example, we can say that it showcased the device's capabilities without overwhelming viewers with technical details. So simplicity was put forward as the most important aspect. When it comes to strategies, we have to mention strategic media placements as well. The careful placement of ads and selective media engagement helped maintain the iPhone's premium image and exclusivity. So, in our presentation, we mentioned a few aspects about Apple's iPhone launch and which aspects were important during that time and how it created a shift in the industry. So, before closing off, I would like to ask you a question when it comes to this presentation. So, we talked about Steve Jobs' presentation style and Apple's strategic marketing and the fact that this created a significant impact not only in the smartphone industry, but also in the tech industry overall. So, how do you think these elements could be applied to a product launch in today's market to create a similar level of excitement? In what way a product should be launched that it will cause the same level of anticipation iPhone did back in the day? So please feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you.